Hi everyone, welcome back to JP WHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well. This is the preview of West Ham's fourth round, stroke the last 16 round of the Carabao League Cup, where we welcome fellow Londoners Arsenal to the London Stadium this 7:30 on Wednesday night, live under the lights, live on Sky Sports. As always, guys, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website. But as you can see from the icon that's up here, there's retro Arsenal gear as well, along with track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts, so go check those out. Any purchases that you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always say, I'll be sending on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter to help put food on the tables for those who have been really struggling over the last 4 to 5 years now. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to your club shop, and you'll be helping those that are less fortunate than you and I. So let's talk about the officials, but before we do that, guys, as always, there's going to be timestamps in the description, so scroll around to wherever section you want to listen to. Ideally, it'd be nice to have you along for the whole ride, but if you haven't got time, then there's little segments for you to click on. Now, the officials, the referee for this game is Simon Hooper. His assistants are Darren Cann and Sam Lewis, and the fourth official is Sam Barrott. No idea who most of those guys are. Obviously, we know who Simon Hooper is. Less said about him, the better. But, yeah, no VAR. Perfect. That's fine. Haven't got an issue with that. It's going to be like going back to the old days. Now, the last time we played Arsenal at home was in the League Cup was all the way back in January 1998. So it's not really worth doing more comparisons on that. Now, normally if this is a Premier League preview, we'll be talking about the last 6 home games, or if this is a away game, we'll talk about the last 6 away games. But because that's the last time we played them in the League Cup, not talking about the FA Cup, just purely focusing on the League Cup, then yeah, it's not really worth going into too much detail. David Moyes' record in the League Cup at home always seems to be against Arsenal for that matter, but he's won none, drawn none, lost 2. Even the away games, he's lost all 5 against Arsenal away in the 3rd or 4th round in the League Cup. So, given the run that we're on at the minute, that's not looking pretty heavy at the minute. That is looking pretty heavy, and it's looking very, very unlikely we're going to get anything out of this. I was looking forward to this game in the build-up to Everton. Not looking forward to it now. Now, in the previous round, Arsenal beat Brentford 1-0 away at the Brentford Stadium, for lack of the name of it, escapes me. Was it the Community Stadium, isn't it? Yeah, with a goal from Nilsson on the 8th minute, which was assisted by Nketiah, who's a fantastic player. We'll talk about more in a little bit. Now, Mikel Arteta used a 4-3-3 in that game, and I'm sure he's going to be doing that again against us. Now, Arsenal's weaknesses are very small, but they are there. We all know Arsenal's strengths, of course, but they are weak at aerial duels and defending the counter-attacks. So I don't think any weaknesses are going to get exploited on Wednesday, guys. I really don't think they will. Now, turning to Arsenal injuries, Gabriel Jesus is being assessed with a hamstring injury and may be back in the middle of November. Thomas Partey is out with a muscular injury and may be back towards the end of November. And Timber is out with a knee injury as well, and with no expected return date as yet. Now, Martin Odegaard may be back for this game as he's recovering from a hip injury, but again, we'll have to wait and see. So it looks like Mikel Arteta's got quite a good selection of players to choose from, as he always is. There's going to be rotations for both sides, of course. Personally, I think we're going to go probably stronger than Arsenal will, but Arsenal still put out a very strong side. No question about it. Now, Arsenal players to look out for: Kai Havertz and Nketiah, as we'd mentioned earlier, Tomiyasu and Magalhaes. They are all high at aerial duels 1 for Arsenal, even though they are weak at doing it. So that just shows you how many corners they've been getting so far this season. Now, Kai Havertz is also strong at passing, holding the ball, and defensive contributions, but he is very weak at the offside awareness. So we need to try and exploit that. Eddie Nketiah is also strong at holding on to the ball and finishing. He's also a very strong counter-attack threat as well. He likes short passes and commits and gets fouls often. Should he really be in the England set up on a more regular basis, guys? Put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you're thinking on that. And Tomiyasu is also strong at crossing. Magalhaes is also strong at passing. Indirect set is sorry he is a indirect set piece threat, and likes to play short passes. Jorginho, for example, is very strong at passing, but he is weak at aerial duels, so we need to exploit that. Smith Rowe is strong at holding on the ball and finishing, but he is weak again at aerial duels and crossing. Ben White, who's come on leaps and bounds. Since he signed for Arsenal a couple of seasons ago, he is strong at passing and holding onto the ball. So we need to, but he doesn't really have any weaknesses. Aaron Ramsdale was probably going to be in goal because it looks like Arsenal are rotating quite a fair bit. A very, very good England goalkeeper, very, very good. But Ramsdale is strong at saving close range shots and reflex shot stopping, but he is weak at long passes. Nilsson is Nilsson is strong at passing, dribbling, finishing, and taking set pieces. He likes to tackle, but he is weak again at aerial duels. So, guys, there is a reoccurrence here. We need to try and get as many corners or as many free kicks near the box as possible. Having said that, I've rested our main threat for that. But we'll come on to this in a minute. But turning to West Ham itself, Emerson should be back for this game after being suspended against Everton because he picked up 5 yellows in the previous games. Alvarez and Paquetá are also suspended with 5 yellows because both of them were booked against Everton when we lost it, but they're not suspended for this game. Now, the way that the rules have worked this season, I've looked into it, and thank you, Happy Hammerette, for pointing this out to me. I didn't really, even though we talked about the changes at the start of the season, I don't think we talked about this. When you're suspended in the Premier League, you are suspended in the Premier League. It doesn't affect the League Cup and it doesn't affect the FA Cup. So as a result of that, yes, it's going to be worrying for the Brentford preview, and you guys will talk about that on Thursday. But in the meantime, you know, it's great that we've got those guys available, because at the end of the day, if they're going to be suspended for a game where we should hopefully be getting a draw, then we need to use them against Arsenal to get as much out of it as possible. Now, of course, the other West Ham news is that Divine Mubama has rejected a new contract. I don't blame him in any shape or form. He's getting 0 game time in the starting 11 for the men's team or the senior team, whichever way you want to look at it. I do feel this is a bit of a tactic that the club tried to use against Declan Rice when they were trying to get him to sign a new contract. You know, apparently the deal that he's been put on the table is being fantastic, but he feels like he isn't felt worthy for West Ham. He is in every shape or form, but the problem is with David Moyes is he doesn't want to risk players who don't have any experience. But how could you get experience if you're not being played? So there is that. But for me personally, this brings me quite nicely round to the starting 11. Now, as I say, we've made a couple of changes here and there. Obviously, Emerson coming back. But this is the starting 11 that I don't think we're going to see. I really don't think we're going to see. I think Moyes is going to probably rotate a little bit heavier than this, but a lot of the players have got to really butt their ideas up and prove to Moyes, as well as us, that they deserve to be in the starting 11. And as a result of it, yes, okay, this is the starting 11 that I'm hoping we're going to see. Moyes is not going to put it out in any shape or form, but I want you to put in your comments in the comment section below. I want you to put who you would play if you were David Moyes, and this is the side that I would play if I was David Moyes. Fabianski in goal, with a back four of Kehrer, Zuma, Mavropanos and Emerson. Alvarez and Souček in the defensive midfield positions, with Bowen, Paquetá and Kudus in the midfield, supporting Mubama up front. Now, it might come to a surprise for you guys that I've started Souček. Yep, I have, and I've dropped Ward-Prowse as a result of it. Now, I know that's a controversial decision, but at the same point, you know, Bowen is good at taking corners, and to be honest with you, I would rather we have James Ward-Prowse play against Brentford than play against Arsenal. That's my personal opinion. That's what I'm thinking. But guys, as I say, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you're thinking on this. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves. Take care. And of course, obviously on Wednesday night, we will have the full-time thoughts video stroke Thursday morning, probably by the time I get back. But yeah, look after yourselves. Take care. And I'll see you very, very soon. All the best now.